Hello there, and welcome back to the channel, guys. What's going on? Before this video starts, guys, I want to clarify actually my stance on the Bad Batch and, my likes and maybe some of my dislikes, but I feel like there's an overall issue with this show that is universally, no matter what you like and dislike about the show, that you can agree with. Now, a lot of you are probably expecting me to, hate on Omega right now and stuff like that, but no, I actually quite enjoy the character. I think that at times she is used correctly. There's other times that I don't like the recent episode where she gets lost. I don't like that kind of stuff. It's kind of boring to me. It's where she gets lost and the group's got to save her, and then that's the episode. But overall, I actually really do enjoy her character, and if I just want her to become a member of the Bad Batch and have her attributes and her skills and just use for the team, and then maybe she has an accelerated growth, so she grows up faster. But I don't know. But it's not like I hate the character. I kind of enjoy her, actually. And also with the recent episode is kind of the reason why I'm making this video, and the stuff with Wrecker and Fennec Shand. I feel like Wrecker could have at least done something a little bit more, but whatever. It's not the reason I'm making this video just because of that last episode. It's kind of just the catalyst of the reason I am. And now I'm going to just say the reasoning for it, but I'm also going to give some information of other, Star Wars shows that we've seen, like The Mandalorian and obviously The Clone Wars. I think the number one issue with The Bad Batch is actually pacing and the way they're releasing these episodes. Now, when it comes to the pacing, I think the pacing is slower. They're developing a brand new story, even though we do know these characters from The Clone Wars. They've only had one arc, so we haven't had seasons with them. We haven't had more and more missions with them. We haven't had full-on experiences with them unless these four episodes. Even recently, I just started liking Tech because he's had more lines to, talk and conversate. I actually quite liking his character now, but it's been 4 episodes. And I know a lot of you out there that I see comments about when we're talking about Omega and stuff like that. They're like, oh, we're developing. And I completely understand that. I think you need character development, in shows. But that's where the problem lies, and is because they're trying to model it, I would assume, as the Clone Wars, because I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but when the Clone Wars debuted on Cartoon Network, it had the highest ratings of any TV show on Cartoon Network at that time. It had like 3 million people watching it on its opening night, which is actually insane. And they had the same model to where every week it was just a new episode, and it was around 22, 25 minutes. My theory is that at that time, there was not a lot of shows, at least I remember, that had a weekly animation like that in the Star Wars universe, obviously, but it was at that caliber, and that just the storytelling was there, and obviously George Lucas was behind it. That was something that was not around. And for the Omega haters out there, I'm an original Clone Wars watcher. I remember when they had a jingle. Star Wars Clone Wars Friday nights. Yeah, I was there. And I remember when we watched, Ahsoka get off that ship during the movie, of course, and people absolutely hated her. And then her character developed, and now we're here. And Ahsoka's probably one of the greatest characters in Star Wars ever. But here's the thing. We need character development episodes, but I don't want to wait a whole week to see them. And they're trying to model it, I think, after the Clone Wars, but they're in this weird in-between, because I feel like with the Mandalorian's recent success and they saw weekly releases, that people get hyped and people love that stuff and they talk about it during the week, and then everyone watches it. Probably the numbers of people who, especially the Mandalorian, I mean, their numbers crushed everything, but I'm guessing at those Fridays that it was astronomical, the amount of people watching the shows. So I feel like they really tried to do that with the Bad Batch, but me personally, I don't think it works. Just because of how new these characters are and kind of the story and the transition of the Republic to the Empire. We've never been here at this point ever really and ventured into this time period. So I feel like what they should have done was either do the Mandalorian route, where it was around 48 minutes an episode and it was less episodes, like 8 episodes. I feel like that would have really worked with this, because if you think about it, we would have had, this last episode with Fennec. But in this episode, we could have gotten off Pantora and then went somewhere else and maybe ran into Rex this week. But now we have to wait another week just to see if we're going to see Rex, if we're going to progress in the story, because I really don't even know what's going on. We stop on a planet, we repair the ship, and then we leave. That's really what has happened. Or what they should have done, to which I honestly prefer the Mandalorian route, because I like week-to-week stuff. Also, it builds the hype. I really enjoy the hype, I really do. Or they could have made it a binge show like they did originally when the Clone Wars was on Netflix. I feel like that would have really did a great job and really had success. My point being, if we get an episode like this, where Omega gets lost and you know, the guys find her and they get back on the ship and they leave, I have to wait a week for it. To where if it was binge watching, I could just be like, oh, what happens next? Click the next video, and it all kind of melts together into one conclusive, you know, arc, you could say. But I feel like the pacing is completely off with this show. Now, unfortunately, me saying this, a lot of people out there are going to already alienate me to be like, oh, you're just a hater, whatever. It's like, no, I actually quite enjoyed these characters. I enjoy the show. I'm just saying the pacing's off, and that's all I really wanted to say is they should have released it differently. But I know Dave Filoni. I know his stuff. I've been watching his stuff since 2008. But I know once we get to the end, it's going to be fantastic. I know I do. But I feel like they should have released it differently. Even when we get to that point and I'm like, oh, this is the best thing ever, and it could be the best thing ever. But they should have released it differently. I feel like the best route they should have done was 8 episodes at like 48 minutes. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. And if you gotten this far in the video, make sure to subscribe and maybe like my video if you liked it. I will be reacting to every episode of The Bad Batch, so if you're into that, you know, show, which I very much am, I'm invested into it and I really want to see where it goes. Make sure to subscribe and follow me in my journey. Other than that, guys, may the force be with you always.